Good journey, everyone. Welcome. Ooh, I might not be plugged in. Give me one moment. There we go. Can you hear me? I hope everybody can hear me. Good journey, everyone. Welcome to a not long. No, welcome to Space Oats Live, a Star Wars podcast. Oh my goodness. Um, Off to a really rough, rocky start. Um, yeah. So welcome. It's been 2 weeks since I've done this. I know I've been kind of not doing this every week. Some things have been just my schedule has been kind of crazy lately, so I apologize for that. But it's been a busy 2 weeks, and we're gonna try to get through this. But man, there has been so much Star Wars stuff getting released, and yeah, this is gonna be messy. Honestly, this is gonna be messy. This one, but hope everyone is doing great. I know that I am having a great time with all this Star Wars stuff. I don't know what's going on, but my camera is not doing what it should be doing, and I kind of want to share stuff, but I don't know what's gonna happen to my screen. So let me see what happens, because yeah, it's let's do this here. Let's get this up because I want to get this up because I want to start talking about this at some point. So there we go. There we go. And I want to change this over to this. There we go. That's a lot better. That's what I wanted to see. I just didn't know why it wasn't popping up. I think it's because I don't have my other camera attached. So I apologize if the quality of this video is not the because yeah, I don't have my regular camera, but hopefully we get some people joining us today. I got a lot of things to talk about, but we are going to talk about first, not long ago in this galaxy, because we do that. I do that. I usually post something every day on my Instagram page, which is the Crucial Crew Member. So if you're not a follower of me there, please follow me there. You will see something usually posted or me going live talking about something that happened in Star Wars history and talking about that a little bit. And there might be some other stuff that I talk about, anything that gets released news wise, and then I eventually will follow it up with coming on here and talking about it a little bit more extensively. But yeah, and you'll also see some pictures of just me in the Orlando area doing Disney stuff, Star Wars stuff, whatever it might be. Maybe just pictures of even things like even my cats. Well, who knows? Who knows what it's going to be? But yeah, it could be anything. It's just me posting stuff because I like to post stuff. I like to take photos of stuff. So but anyway, not long ago in this galaxy. Today's not long ago in this galaxy is specific to the Clone Wars animated movie. Because today, not long ago in this galaxy, May the 8th, 2008, the trailer for Star Wars: The Clone Wars debuted, and it debuted on television and in the theaters at the same time. I remember this. I don't know if you remember this. I was not too excited. I don't know. I think I was excited that there was Star Wars coming back to the theaters. I was excited that there was more Star Wars. Um, I, I I just wasn't excited about the maybe the animation style. I don't know. There was something that hit me wrong about this style of animation, and I thought it was going to be very kid friendly. I think from the trailer, but it just didn't look like it was going to be my cup of tea. And of course, boy was I wrong. Boy was I wrong. Honestly, I went to go see it, and it still wasn't my favorite. It took me a while to get into the Clone Wars. It took me season two, season two to be hooked. But and I know some other people felt the same way. The first season is a little hard to get through, and it was a little rough if you were a really diehard Star Wars fan. I'll be honest. I mean, I'm honest with it. I don't know. I don't think I've talked to anybody that I remember that hit this like hit this running from day one. They kind of had to give it a chance and go with it. A little bit of struggle sometimes getting through some of those episodes. Some of them are great in the first season, and honestly, I go back now and all of them are great. But in the first season, maybe you felt. I'm gonna read you. I found this online. This is pretty funny. So this was after the first trailer was released, and this was I found this on a website because I was looking at it, and it was the comments from this article, and So the first comment is looks like a video game. I'll pass. Second comment, very positive, very cool. Looking forward to this one. Cartoons were really good. And honestly, I agree with that. I grew up with the Droids cartoons, the Ewoks cartoons. I just think that from what we were like getting animation, I don't know. I felt like this was a little bit subpar because you thought Lucasfilm was going to be outstanding animation, and to me, it just wasn't quite. Maybe it was the Star Wars micro series that, for me, was amazing, and the change in the animation style was so drastic. I think that's really, really what had to do with me. Um, I love some of the responses too to some of the comments. So the first comment that I read looks like a video game I'll pass. Then somebody responded back, your mom looks like a video game. Totally seeing this. I love reading comments from things just from like way back. Let's see here. The other comment, the CG character is way better actor than Hayden Christensen. I like the character and set designs, especially the other Alien, Jedi, and Sith. This looks better to me than the other prequels did. My only problem is that Jabba is way over the top cartoony. It looks to an untrained eye like he and Yoda are the same race and related somehow. His eyes in the original were so perfect, so why mess with perfection? I'll say I trust the Avatar, the Airbender guy to direct, which is Dave Filoni, which is hilarious, because I've seen his show and it easily matches Star Wars level of imagination. I'll watch this with my nephew. Anything else would be uncivilized. I love that. I love that comment, especially since it like hints at Dave Filoni, who was an unknown at that point. And now look what Dave Filoni has accomplished. Let's see here. And this sure as heck beats Attack of the Clones. Impossible to say that without sounding like some 50s sci-fi horror trailer. I don't know. Is the storyline any different from the Clone Wars miniseries? This looks better than all the movies. That's a very, very good comment because, yeah, no, I didn't think so at all. Looks like the second two prequels, except Anakin is more expressive. I'm not a huge fan of the Lego look of the characters have, but I imagine I'd get used to it about 5 minutes or so into the movie. This looks action-packed and will hopefully have a worthwhile storyline to it. August 15th, I'm there. I'm so there. I think that kind of mimics what I was saying, how like maybe they have the Lego look of the characters, and that's maybe how I felt. And yeah, it was action-packed. I mean, basically what it was I think 3 or 4 episodes put together into a movie. I think it was basically a story arc that they were going to release just as part of the season, but then just kind of making it into a movie. Let's see here. I'll read this last one. A cameo of Grand Admiral Thrawn or Joris Kabath would make this my geek wet dream. So didn't get it at the time with Clone Wars, but boy, do we have Thrawn now. And who knows? Joris Kabath, maybe at some point we might see something of him, especially with all the Necromancer Palpatine stuff going on. So we haven't seen the end of that, I'm sure. But yeah, so Clone Wars animated movie, the kickoff to the Clone Wars animated series. The trailer debuted on television and in theaters today, May the 8th, 2008. Of course, it would get released in August, and I went and seen it. I saw it in August. I remember that. Again, first thoughts, wasn't the greatest, but eventually I was all in on it. So, but enough about the Clone Wars. Enough about the Clone Wars. We had a lot. I mean, I say enough about the Clone Wars, and then we're kind of like now, ending spin-off of the Clone Wars. Is this the end of the Clone Wars? Are we ever going to get anything else storyline-wise about the Clone Wars? Or spin-offs from the Clone Wars animated series? I think so. But we haven't talked about, because again, I haven't done this in 2 weeks. So the last 2 episodes of The Bad Batch, I'm going to say that I loved the series overall. And I loved the direction of the series. I loved where the series was building up to, but I have to say that it felt like it ended very quickly. Um, these last couple episodes left me wanting more. A lot of loose ends I feel are out there with characters that were brought in, and just how everything ended up. Um, are we going to see? Or did they? We'll get to some of this in a minute. Let's just go back and talk about, first of all, Flash Strike. Um, Flash Strike, the episode right before the last one, 2 weeks ago. The first, basically, part of the finale of basically liberation of Wayland. Let's just say that. Liberation of Mount Tantus. Omega, the clones finally hitching a ride basically to Tantus. Omega realizing it, hearing the laser cannon, she knew that her brothers had found her. These last two episodes are really all about like kind of wrapping up Omega's story, right? But the Bad Batch coming in basically hot for this crash landing. They were going to be found out. There was no way they were going to hide. Detaching from the ship, Omega realizes that she can hear them. She knows who it is. Who knows if it's some sort of force sense as well, that she's sensing that it's them. But she knows it's them. They have to kind of crash land, which honestly, this was one of my favorite parts of the episode, was them crash landing and jumping from the ship with Rampart kind of getting caught there for a minute, and then basically like, what are you guys, crazy type of deal, which he was doing the entire time. But I love this part of the episode. It was a great part of the episode. On the edge of your seats. Wonder what was going to happen with that. I mean, obviously we knew they were going to survive, but they had to jump from that crashing ship, which was really awesome. Echo, as you remember, was on the ship. He was still stuck on the supply ship that was going to Tantus, and he was in Stormtrooper armor, but of course he has no hands, so how's he going to blend in? And then the droid that was in the ship with him in that cargo area, he kind of lends a hand to Echo, if you might say. No pun intended. We also got a glimpse of the Zillo Beast tank that's on Mount Tantus. Of course, we knew that this was Palpatine had a fascination with these Zillo Beasts, mainly, I believe, because of the armor. The armor was you couldn't really penetrate the armor, so I think that was. I just wonder if we're going to see something about that at some point. I don't know. I was kind of wanting more with the Zillo Beast story, and we've never really gotten any of those answered questions, or anything that's worked out from the Empire obtaining the Zillo Beast. Nothing's really come to fruition with that. So except for the Zillo Beast being distractions, that's all we've kind of had with this. We also had a really cool moment where Echo meets Emery, which again, knew that Emery was going to turn in the end. It's been leading up to that, and I love this moment with Echo and Emery in the show, where they kind of at first have this disdain for each other, but then kind of realize that Echo, why he's there, Emery, she really knows they're doing wrong. She's kind of fed up with it, and she really decides she's going to help them. And Echo on board with that, and I love that moment. So it's great to see Emery make her journey in these last two episodes, and I love the results of that. And I hope to see more of Emery. I'm glad that she survived these episodes. But yeah, Omega. The last episode, I love how they decided to make it longer, because there was so much left to wrap up, and what were they going to do? And I honestly just still think that there were so many things that they could have expanded on in the storyline. But yeah, so Omega coming back, the Bad Batch, the finale, the Cavalry has arrived. So basically the Cavalry on Mount Tantus. So we this episode, it went really fast. It went really fast. Obviously, we knew the hints to the Zillo Beast of what was going to happen. Omega using that as a distraction, so that and a diversion, so that basically the Bad Batch could fulfill their mission and they could escape and they could basically um, shut down Tantus. Was basically the other purpose really was to make sure that nothing, and it did for the most part. It did, and it's in a certain way. The CX troopers are unleashed by Hemlock. We know that they've had their match before with the CX troopers, but this time, this rematch, the Bad Batch wins out this time. So kind of interesting that it happened so easily. Honestly, I don't know. Those CX troopers, I just thought that they would have put up a better fight, and maybe somebody else would have gotten lost in that fight. I don't know. I just had that feeling that was going to happen, but it didn't. It's okay. We love the direction that it went, right? Hemlock found his end, which we knew was going to happen. I don't know if I would have seen it play out the way that it did, but it was a fitting ending, kind of being cornered there on that bridge, and then losing out. So it's okay. I was fine with that. I don't know why, but my background just like totally went out. My inspiration while I'm doing the show just like cut out on me. I don't know why. I was watching Tales from the Empire, by the way, again, which we're going to talk about that in a minute. So I just want to like cue that up again, but very, very easy. My favorite episode too right now. We'll talk about which episode that is. But yeah, so Hemlock met his end, which we knew was going to happen. So that was great with that moment with basically Omega and him at the end, right before that demise was a good moment. I honestly, that was a good moment in the show. The other with Lama Su, I thought that was another just hit you in the heart moment. Basically, her dropping that thermal detonator and just blowing up the yeah, she blew it up, the research facility part, and all of that was done. I love that she did that, sacrificing her life. That was a great moment in the show. Tarkin showing up and basically shutting everything down. I love that. I'm thinking, I mean, most of the research was already destroyed. So my guess is they probably just bombarded it with, like they did of the previous planet that we had seen with the research facility. So they probably just destroyed it. That's what, or they could have just let it rot. Not even wasting any resources on it. Who knows? I've heard a couple different ideas of that, but I love the idea that's just done. Forget it. Reallocate all the resources to Project Stardust, which is a great little hint to Rogue One and the Death Star, which was great. I love that as well. The mission complete scenes, them on Pabu, Crosshair, Hunter, Wrecker, Batcher, all of them there on Pabu, kind of just saying that they could do whatever now. I don't know if I like the fact that they just hung it all up. I would think that they want to do something more, unless they feel that Omega's why the Empire was trying to obtain her. Maybe they felt that was too much of a threat and they should lay low, kind of like the Jedi. Who knows? But I would just like to see something different with their path and not just do nothing. I love the fact that Emery went off with Echo. My hopes is that that might be a spinoff with Emery, Echo, Rex, Wolf, Gregor, possibly, because I would love to see what Rex, Wolf, and Gregor were doing leading up to when we meet them in Rebels. When they're older, I'll be honestly, there's so much that they were doing, obviously. So I would love to see a spinoff of those characters. That would be great. I don't know. What do you think about that? Yeah, and I would love to have had Hunter, Wrecker, and Omega kind of Crosshair all joining in on that, but I guess not. I guess they just retired, right? So kind of little bit of a disappointment of that. But then we did get a little bit of hope in a little bit of an epilogue for Omega. So the epilogue kind of goes into the future. Really, like if you kind of calculate the time frame, this is going to be during the early rebellion stages. Rebels, all of that good stuff. So Omega kind of going off to fight for the rebellion, sneaking off at first. Hunter catches her, but then he realizes that Omega is ready to do this, to join this fight. And we might see a spinoff of Omega, or maybe Omega somehow joins up with Emery and Echo and Rex and Wolf and Gregor. Who knows? We'll find out, I guess, if there will be any more Clone Wars Bad Batch spin-off shows in the future. We'll find out. Like I said, though, right now I'm watching Tales of the Empire again. Tales of the Empire released May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. We got 6 episodes of Tales of the Empire. The kind of spin-off of Tales of the Jedi. So 3 episodes dealing with Morgan Elsbeth, and then 3 episodes dealing with Barriss Offee. I will say it right now, and I will pick it. My favorite of these 2 was hands down Morgan Elsbeth's storyline. I loved this backstory. I thought it was amazing. I might do more of a deep dive later on, but because it's still early, it hasn't even been a week yet. I don't know how many people have watched these, but Morgan Elsbeth, the Thrawn coming into it, I loved the path titles because it brought me back to like Yoda saying the path of the dark side. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. So we had path of fear, path of anger, path of hate. I loved those 3 titles. Path of anger was my favorite of the 3. I loved the interaction of Thrawn coming in and like testing Morgan Elsbeth and seeing if she was worthy to fight for the Empire, fight with the Empire. So she wanted. He kind of was like, "What is her why? What is her reasons for doing what she's doing?" But such great. I mean, again, the episode titles, the story, the theming was perfection. It was beautiful. All 3 episodes were beautifully done. Loved it so much. I can't wait to. I mean, we're not going to see any more of Morgan Elsbeth in the future with Thrawn, but I love how this might play into the future story of Thrawn, possibly. But it does make you look at the Ahsoka episodes a little bit different. The Mandalorian episode where Ahsoka is on Cordova. All of this, you're going to get a different perspective as you're watching those stories from these other perspectives now. And I love how these 3 episodes did that. It was amazing. And the different time periods as well. I mean, the Path of Fear was during the Clone Wars time. The Path of Anger was as the Empire is taken over. So like after Revenge of the Sith, after Order 66, and then the Path of Hate is actually after the fall of the Empire, and the New Republic has taken effect. So like kind of during the Mandalorian series era. So I love the different time frames of these episodes. It was just fantastic. The Barris Offee trilogy was okay. I was hoping it would end a little bit differently. I was hoping it would be more, I don't know, it just didn't feel like a Tales of the Empire. It seemed like it could have been more of a Tales of the Sith or a Tales of the Dark Side. Something that could have been a different spin-off at some point. Because it was very inquisitorious, and Barris Offee, it had, the basically her getting to make a different choice in her life. Of course, either rot in prison or join the leagues of this new Inquisitor rank, and what she would have to do to get that, and then yeah, her kind of deciding that she did not want to kill Jedi. So she just, her feelings of that being wrong. So it was okay. It was a good 3 episodes. I kind of liked how it left the door open because you don't really know if she's still alive or not at the end. With the other Inquisitor, which I forget her Jedi name, but kind of understanding Barris Offee's reasonings and her why she made the decisions she did, and basically turning her backs on the Inquisitors as well. So yeah, it left the door open, but still, the Morgan Elsbeth story arc, definitely my favorite of the two. No, what do you think? What was your favorite of the two? Let me know in the comments. That'd be great. Another awesome, funny little thing that was released this weekend is Disney's How Not to Draw R2D2. Funny little short. I say you must watch it. It's hilarious. Mark Hamill is the voice of the animator, which is so great. And it's a treat. It's a lot of fun to watch this one. I'm not going to give anything away with it because you just need to watch it. It's like, what, I think a minute, 2 minutes long. It's really great, really fun. And I think you can find them on Disney Plus, actually, along with a bunch of How Not to Draws. But this one specifically for R2D2, and it is just hilarious. It's a delight. What a great little segment that was. But yeah, so we also had another little short celebrating Lego 25 years. A really cool little conglomeration of lots of different characters in Lego form, which was really great. And then another awesome Lego announcement for television series is we are going to get a 4-piece special on September the 13th, The Galaxy Rebuilt. And if you haven't watched the trailer, please watch the trailer. The trailer is fantastic. It looks so much fun. Basically, everything getting all mixed up. You had AT-AT walkers with Rebel logos on them, X-Wing TIE fighters kind of mashed up. There were Geonosians with lightsabers, Ewok bounty hunters, and then, of course, Darth Jar Jar. So what great fan service to something that just became a fan conspiracy of Jar Jar Binks and who he really was that was out there on the internet, and it coming to fruition on Lego Star Wars Darth Jar Jar. So that is just going to be so much fun. Ahmad Best is voicing Jar Jar Binks, so we love that. It's so great to have him back doing Jar Jar. I just can't wait for September 13th for that to happen. We also got a final trailer for The Acolyte. I don't know if this is what they showed during the movie marathon Phantom Menace 25th anniversary on over the weekend, or maybe there was a different first look that was shown. But this new trailer has been released, and there are some new bits to it. One of the things that was really cool early on in the trailer was the Jedi Temple, basically towering above the Coruscant skyline, which is pretty awesome because, as we've known Coruscant, you see all these buildings, and if you really look at it, the Jedi Temple is not that big compared to these other buildings around it. But we're going way back to the High Republic, where the Jedi was at the peak of its order. And this has the Jedi Temple basically towering over everything else, which is really cool to see from, again, perspective, which is really awesome to have that to set the stage for everything. Another interesting part of the trailer was the character Kimir. Don't know how to pronounce his name, but on the website when the first trailer came out, they dropped character bits for each character and a little bit of backstory on those characters. This character, though, was very short, didn't say much. It just said that he was a former smuggler who now makes his living as a trader, procuring unusual things and enjoying a life of leisure. Not much to go by there. Don't know if he was once trained as a Jedi. Don't know anything about what's going on. There is a quote from him, though, in the new trailer where he says, "Peace is a lie." So again, don't know what his... Obviously, he does not have faith in the Jedi, because the Jedi are peacemakers or peacekeepers, and he doesn't believe that. He doesn't believe that that's the case, that can happen or that it is happening. So it's interesting to kind of see where his loyalties lie in this series. I love the kind of the distraction of the Night Sisters, I guess, possibly the Dathomiri or whoever they are. I think they're almost going to be like a secondary antagonist, but I don't think it's going to be the main antagonist. And there's some things written out there that feel that they're basically going to help the Jedi, and I actually feel that way too. Even though they're a Night Sister, I think that this is going to be one of those things that, again, we knew that Ventress was kind of given to the Jedi Order as almost like a peace agreement. Leave us alone, we'll give you one of ours, type of deal. And I think that this is going to kind of carry true to that as well. The Dathomiri basically being like, look, we have our own beliefs, our way of life, our own teachings. Don't bother us. We won't bother you, but we're going to help you in this situation. And I think that's going to be the case with that part of the story. Is there kind of going to be a distraction in some way or another? What else did we see in that trailer? Oh, of course, a couple other looks at the planet that pretty much looks like Octo. I'm pretty sure it's Octo. There's just so many similarities to that. And I love the fact that we're going to go back to the birthplace of the Jedi Order. And what that entails and why that is the case. I can't wait to actually see that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then there's a character that's kind of hinted at that I'm not familiar at. And I guess I'm going to have to do some reading because I don't know much about this character. But at the end of that trailer, we saw what looked like very similar look to the Knights of Ren. So my thoughts is that we're maybe going to get some backstory of that. Who were the Knights of Ren? Or who was, where did that order first come from? Again, I have the feelings that the Acolyte is not going to be Sith related at all. Maybe dark side, but not Sith. Just from the sheer fact that in the Phantom Menace, Ki-Adi-Mundi basically says the Sith have been extinct for a millennium. and this is way less than a millennium in the past. So I just don't think that we're going to have Sith be mentioned, or if it is, it's not mentioned anywhere in connection with the Jedi. Like they don't know that it's the Sith. But having some sort of dark side users, dark forces in play, that is definitely the case. And who is under that helmet? Don't know. I have some theories. I don't know. I think it might be one of the Jedi that we're seeing as a Jedi in the trailer, but then they have this other side of them, and they're, I think I said it when the first trailer came out, Master Rowe. I just have this feeling that there's a possibility that maybe they're behind this mask, or who knows who it is. They might be part of this dark side uprising. But there is a fan theory of a character that I am not familiar with, and that is Abeloth. Just because of the way the mask has the smile, and the character apparently looks like that. I looked at pictures. I was gonna post it up, but I didn't have the time to be able to get that up here. But I see those theories. I've been reading a little bit about it. There's a possibility. I know a lot of that's legend. I think for the most part, I don't think it's canon anymore, but it would be a great way to bring a big legend character again into canon. Maybe in a different way slightly, because I think Abeloth, for the most part, was in the new Jedi Order in the future, and not in the past. And this will be taking. But then again, that's the same thing that happened with Thrawn. We've had more of a back story of Thrawn. Now Thrawn's back in the present now, so he's kind of everywhere. But it's great to see Thrawn come back as well. So yeah, so I don't know. I don't know much about Abeloth. I'm going to be doing a little bit more research on that character and seeing what I think about that. It from first get-go, it looks interesting, and I wouldn't mind exploring that because it looks like an interesting character as well. So let's see here. On May the 4th, I went to Galaxy's Edge, and it was hot. It was crowded, and I didn't stay long. I couldn't actually get a reservation for Hollywood Studios on Saturday. So I actually had to, my wife, annual pass holder, she was able to get a reservation. So she was able to get into the virtual queue line for the store for the May the 4th merchandise, which really there wasn't that much there. I'll go over that in a minute. I had to go to Epcot, basically tap, and then pop over to Hollywood Studios. I did go, and actually on the 35th was when I went and rode. The Wednesday before was when I went and rode the new Star Tours segments for the first time. I rode Star Tours twice. I got not all of the new spots in there, but I did get I got the midsection scene with Cassian Andor, which was pretty cool. Also got the midsection scene with Mandalorian and Grogu, which was fun. And then I think pretty much, and I didn't ride it on Saturday, but I'm pretty sure that right now every second segment in the Star Tours ride is the flight over Cetos with the Purgle, which is fun. Honestly, I love it. I thought it was great. It's a great new scene. Ahsoka flying with her, helping her out during that battle scene above Cetos. R2 is there, which is great. So much fun. And his interaction with Ahsoka is just so much fun. Ahsoka basically saying, it's great to see you. It's a cool moment with that scene. So So far, so good. The only thing I think I'm missing, I heard that there's a different opening sequence with Ahsoka, I think, which I didn't know. And there's possibly a mid scene with Ahsoka with the hologram. I don't, so I might be missing one or two. So I'll have to get back to studios. I went there today, but I was kind of in and out. I was trying to go back and try to get some things that I missed on Saturday because I didn't have a lot of time on Saturday. They're just the stores were crowded, everything was crowded. I did the virtual queue with my wife to go to the merch for the Star Wars Day stuff. I did pick up the pins. So the May the 4th be with you pins. You can see I love the C3PO R2D2 from the old Droids cartoons. If you can see that, that's basically the style. But it also kind of carries through to the how not to draw R2D2. So I love that they kind of threw that out there. But I love the R2D2 C3PO. I mean, R2 is my favorite character. So, but it's a great retro look to these characters. The other limited edition pin has a couple more droids thrown in there. You got a Gonk droid, R5 droid, and then I forget the other name of that droid, but basically some droids. I love droids. Droids are great. And then the limited edition oversized pin that's actually limited to 4,500. The other ones doesn't have a count number on it, but this one's limited to 4,500. This is the retro Boba Fett with R2 and C3PO. So I love that retro Boba Fett. It's really cool. From back in the holiday special. And then I got the baseball cap, which has the R2 C3PO logo on it. Big baseball cap fan. So it's like a dark navy blue. So that's a good shirt. And then the good shirt, the shirt is, again, the R2D2 C3PO retro look. Heavy shirt. Very heavy, thick shirt. Definitely not a t-shirt for the summertime, I can tell you that. Past two shirts have been really thick, good quality, but really thick for Florida heat. So won't be wearing that down here too much, except for in the winter. But I love the retro droids. Was like one of my favorite series. A lot of fun. So that was basically all I picked up. I missed Chopper apparently. Chopper was in launch bay. Did not know that. Was so disappointed. He's not there anymore. I don't know if it was a test, if he's coming back. I hope so. I got a Ronto wrap. Got these little puff pastry things at the Blue Milk stand, which thought it was a one-day thing, but no, they still have them. Today, I actually got the little biscuit in Docking Bay 7, which was pretty good. A little bit thick and heavy, but it was good. Today I did go back because I wanted to get some things that I didn't get on Saturday, and I knew the stores were pretty packed. Honestly, the merch that was in the regular stores, nothing really hit me. But I did see I don't know if these have been out for a while or what, but I picked up these patches and these Jedi patch, and these are pretty cool. So they'll probably be going on my Crucial Crew jacket, my Mosh jacket. Or it's not really my Mosh jacket. It's the jacket that I made for Mosh, but that'll probably be going on there. I did also get the new Copper Spiro. So the Copper Spiro. Bought that today, or loaded that up today and got that today. For anybody that has the Spiros, just a little bit of a tip with the Spiros. The barcode on the back rubs off very easily. My previous Spiro I can't even use anymore because you can't scan it. You can't scan it. So take good care of those. Don't put them in your pocket with things that can rub up against things because yeah, that can happen. So kind of protect it. Protect that barcode. I don't know if there's anything you can put over it to protect it, but yeah, I don't want to lose money. I didn't think I only lost like $5 from the last one. They have these bowls. These are pretty cool. They have like a dark side and a light side bowl. This one's like the Galaxy with some TIE fighters on it, Star Destroyer. I love the art though. It's very like Golden Books art, and then the Death Star. So that's the dark side bowl. And then the light side bowl is, I love this color too, is Tatooine. So you got the Bantha. You do have TIE fighters on there, but for the most part, it's light side. So, and then you have R2, C-3PO, Obi-Wan, and Luke in the land speeder. Lars Homestead, Star Destroyers in the background, a little sandcrawler up there, and then the Crate Dragon skeleton. Yeah, so cool bowls. Nothing on the inside, just on the outside. And then they have a lot of new things in Doc Ondars, by the way. So they got a new holocron. It's green. They have a new Sith holocron, which looks almost similar to the older one, but you could tell it's a little bit different. That's all I really saw in Docs that was new. But they also have new crystals. So, and I love these new crystals. So the crystals, a little bit thicker of a canister. You can tell how thick they are. But they screw open. And once you get them popped open, they have these cool, you can see it with that, because they also have if you remember, if you got the black crystal, it would have this little scroll in it. Well, all of them have the scrolls now. All of them have the scrolls. So this is the blue crystal. Apparently, there's a couple of rare ones. I haven't looked up any of these up yet, but I don't know if this is one of the rare ones or not. Honestly, don't know. Because I'm looking at it and I don't know. But this is a Ben Solo one. So, which is kind of funny, because wouldn't Ben Solos be red? And you know what? I think it is. If this is one of the rare ones, I don't know how to undo this thing. I want to break it, but I do want to pop it out because it looks like it's got red in it. It does. I wonder if this glows red. See it? It's got red inside of it. So it's blue and red? Okay, that's really cool. I wonder if I got a rare one. So this is Ben Solo, apparently. Now I kind of want to read it, because, oh my gosh, the print is so small. My horrible eyes. Yeah, I can't read that. I'll have to read it later. I'll have to look it up, because I don't know. Maybe that's a rare one. But that's pretty cool if I got one of the rare ones on the first go of a blue one. But again, I love how these screw in here. And they like lock in when you screw them in. So it's really cool. A lot better than the old design. A lot better than the old design. And then I got some red. I got 4 red ones, because I was trying to shoot for a black one from the new ones. Try to get an early start on that. So I got 4. One of them is a Darth Maul. One of them is a second sister. And 2 of them are Grand Inquisitors. So if anybody out there has any duplicates of reds that are non-second sister or Maul or Grand Inquisitor and want to trade and doesn't have the Grand Inquisitor, let me know and we'll trade. We'll meet up somewhere and we'll get that trade done. So, but yeah, so it's been fun. I guess I haven't tried them. I don't think they're gonna work in the old holocrons. I don't know. I could try it. I mean, I had the one right there. I could try it. Should I try the Ben Solo one? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll hold off. I'll do it on my own. See if it doesn't work or not work. I'll let you know. But yeah. So they also have Black Chrysanthemum little plushie at Toy and Toy Makers. They got the Nexu over at the Creature stall. At the Toy and Toy Makers, they have the Dejeric table that's pretty cool, which I didn't even see that when I went, and I found out about it afterwards. But that looks really cool. So pretty neat to be able to to see that. That might be a purchase in the future. Yeah. So I think that's it. I don't know if I'm missing any new stuff that's happened or not. But I backed out of my list. Why did I back out of my list? Don't know what I did. Let's see here. What else is going on? Oh, Star Wars Hunters. The game that, man, has been kind of coming and going and didn't know where it was going to be. That is going to be coming out soon. I think in June. So iOS, Android, Nintendo Switch, I think. So that looks pretty fun. Might want to be playing that when that comes out. And then last but not least, Star Wars Celebration Japan. Tickets went on sale last week, and I got tickets. Got the 3-day passes. My wife and I, we are going to Japan. Star Wars Celebration 2025. Super excited. So much already being announced. I didn't get any merch yet because it was kind of like hectic trying to get those tickets. So I didn't get any merch yet, but I will be getting some merch at some point when it comes back out. A couple other amazing people from Star Cruiser are going that I know of. Crew, passengers. Can't wait to have some fun with them in Japan. It's going to be a great time. Man, this is so exciting. That every time I start talking about it, the adrenaline starts going and going and going. But can't wait for that. That is going to be so much fun. So much fun going to Japan. It's been on my bucket list and I can't wait. StarWars.com also already put, I haven't really read into it, but they already put like places to go when you're in Japan. I just can't wait. I mean, I know Tokyo Disney, Tokyo Seas, all of that. It's going to be so much fun. Anyway, that is going to be it for tonight. I hope everyone is having a great week. Actually, there was one other thing. I forgot to talk about. My crucial character pick, which I needed to do this week. And I was going to go ahead and just pick it off of Tales of the Empire. Honestly, very crucial character that I love and adore ever since the Legend series. Made a big comeback in the Morgan Elsbeth episode, Path of Anger. And that is Captain Pellaeon. Captain Pellaeon, which we've only had show up twice in canon now. This is the third time. Heard his voice. Jim Cummings did the voice, though, in Rebels. In one of the final episodes, we heard Captain Pellaeon's voice over the intercom. Didn't get to see him. In Mandalorian Season 3, we actually got to see him via hologram, which was really awesome. Love the look of him. He was great. Now we get to see him a lot more with how he worked well with Thrawn. I love how he was kind of like Thrawn sent him on missions. Like, go check out this person. She is interesting. I want you to learn more about her. I want you to test her. So Captain Pellaeon in Path of Anger, which loved his part in this episode. I loved fleshing him out a little bit more. Can't wait. I know we're going to see more of him because he's alive. He's alive during the heir to the Empire reign of Thrawn coming up. Hopefully we'll see them connect again, and we're going to see how amazing he is as a character. Super exciting. But yes, he is definitely my crucial character pick from Tales of the Jedi, because I think we're going to see a lot more of him. He's so crucial to Thrawn's operation. Captain Pellaeon. Gilad Pellaeon. That is it for me tonight. Thank you for watching. Somebody joined in. Appreciated it. You joined in. Please please subscribe to this podcast. I do this usually every week. Thank you for watching. Remember to do something Star Wars. Until next time, watch some Star Wars, listen to some Star Wars, play some Star Wars, read some Star Wars, do something Star Wars. But most importantly, remember, may the stars light your way. Have a great night, and I'll see you next week.